Hey everyone, this is my reaction to the 5th episode of Yakusoku no Neverland. So, last episode, it was pretty much about figuring out who the dirty traitor was. We had some suspects like Gilda and Don, and Norman doing some sneaky stuff to figure out who it was, and we determined that it was in fact Ray, I guess. You know, bit of a twist there. I expressed my thoughts on that in the last video, so yeah, in this episode we'll see what actually is the case. Maybe I was right on some of my guesses, maybe I wasn't. We'll see. So 3, 2, 1, play. Yakusoku no Neverland. Oof. That would be my cat. Still loving the opening. But yeah, I really am curious exactly. I hope we start off right from that scene where Norman confronts Ray. We might not, but I do hope so. I want to see what Ray says in defense. Or even tries to defend himself. Man, Emma looks so tough in that shot. Okay, looks like we're right back on that scene. uh, wow, that clock perspective was really disorientating. It was cool, but man, that could make you motion sick fairly quickly. He should. Yeah, so it seems like I was right about that. That's what you told him. Yep. Probably still there. So it looks like I was right about the strategy. There's nothing left to say to argue your case. Yeah, but you're not as smart as Norman. That's what you didn't account for. Well, a while ago. I guess the sister coming to the house was a big first big hint of a traitor. Because you know Emma wouldn't do that. Very true. You also look like the edgiest kid, so... Yeah. Wow. I bet your exam results were cheated too, just so you could hang out with the smart kids. Well, no, but that'd be funny. or we'll murder you. Okay. Wow. A double agent, triple agent, quadruple agent. He's kind of a better person than you are, you know. Plus, Emma wouldn't like that, and he likes Emma, so. That's not a chair. Was he? Huh. Well, if that's the case, then definitely shows potential. Well, hopefully he's at least a little bit conflicted. Okay, so there really was more to it than meets the eye. I bet. A lot of people do. Like cookies? Like cookies? Oh. Put it in a microwave? This- You're a little bit scary, you know that, Ray. Okay, so let's keep it that way. Okay. Oh. I had a feeling it would come down to this. That makes sense. I mean, Don and Gilda are a bit more prominent in the opening than the others. It doesn't, does it? Still not realistic to say of everyone. That was probably the most tense one-on-one conversation in the whole show. There's a lot of lies in this show. I don't know who to trust anymore, but taking all that at face value, then Ray could definitely be a much better ally than the end of previous episode would lead you to believe. But I don't know anymore. Because you still look very evil there, Ray. I'll be honest. Either way, Norman has some choices to make, for sure. Please stop making the evil smile, Ray. That's all I want you to do right now. Oh, thank you. He listened. He actually listened. Meanwhile, Norman is gonna vomit. Okay. What? What was the drawing? What was the significance of the drawing? I wouldn't say that. Some people would agree with you on that. So things aren't perfect on that side of things. I'm not their babysitter. Disturbing behavior. Yeah, you better have my cookies ready. We're already escaping. Or it's a dream. Oof. Okay, I'm leaning on it being a dream. A nightmare, rather. Ugh. Yeah, that's what he wants to avoid at all costs, Emma. If he has to trick her to make that happen, he'll probably do it. Ugh. That's... oh no, children, even worse. uh, and then they eat him. And then Ray. Well, you know, you could say that. Oh, what? Wow, he just... he just... Okay. Ray, you are an interesting individual. I don't blame you, Emma. Don't hurt yourself over there. Please. That would be a simplest summary that we're gonna get, yeah. uh... Yeah. Well, about that. No. No, Emma. It's not a terrible position. Not amazing, though. Yeah, that must have been really unpleasant. Knowing you never get any letters. Uh... Emma, you're hurting me. Norman's just back there. Can I get a handhold next? Yeah, they do that a lot. A lot of scheming. Plotting. Oh, you... They still haven't told them. I mean, you're not really dealing with people, you're dealing with monsters. Yeah, she squeezed that hand hard. Don't interrupt, I want to hear the rest of that. Is it good news? Bad news? Like, spirited away? Oh. Like a basement or a hidden door. Like behind a bookcase in a library. Huh. Kids have a lot of free time. Gotta love secret rooms. Okay. That was a reaction. Uh... Like, if we get caught going in there, that's a problem. Yeah, that would also be a problem. Yeah, it's pretty cut and dry. The problem is the more people you add into the fold, the higher chances you have something to go wrong. And Don definitely looks like the kind of guy that would make a stupid mistake and screw over the team. Because we have Ray, Norman, and Emma, who are all very smart. Then we have these two that have been added to the group, and they're just kind of kids, so that's a problem. They are the weak link, especially Don. You are an idiot. The episode's almost over too, so probably gonna end on something big. Well, it is, unless they were trying to trick you guys to see if you'd be stupid enough to try this. You pull. Usually, there's a certain specific book they have to pull out part away, and that slides it open, like a fake book. Uh. Huh. Okay, there you go. That works too. I prefer to pull a fake book out and then it just automatically slides, but that's fine as well. But you're gonna regret this, I'm fairly certain. Well, now what do you plan to do? You better hope that's not Mom. You better hope that's at best Sister Krone. Which I assume it is. I don't know why, but I just kind of assume. Because if it's Mom, everything will pretty much be ruined. So it's either Sister Krone that was going to do something similar to them because she's still against Mom, or it's one of our three main kids that were like, yeah, I knew you'd be stupid enough to try this. Get out of there, guys. One of the two. It wouldn't have so much suspense if it was just going to be Mom. Okay, that was the 5th episode of Yakusoku no Neverland. And this episode, we started off with our lengthy conversation between Norman and Ray, and that was a pretty intense conversation, pretty good back and forth. Obviously, Norman knew that Ray was a traitor of some sort because he had laid that trap, you know. He told John something about the rope, told Gilda, I don't know why I struggle with her name, told her a different place with the rope, and then he told Ray a false area for both of those people. I don't know how, kind of hard to phrase that properly, but you know what I mean. You know, he faked that out to him, and he didn't realize it, so he fell right into that trap. And Norman now knows he's a dirty traitor. So now it became a matter of confronting him and getting him to confess, and then figuring out what we're going to do from there. Those are the two big things. He at first tried to, you know, defend himself a bit, but then he's like, you know what, yeah, okay, you got me, I'm the traitor. There you go. And basically what this conversation ended up being was Norman not wanting to let go of Ray, now just like cast him aside, like, okay, you're a traitor, you're now, I wash my hands of you, you're dead to me. You know, he didn't go that far. He still wants to maintain him as part of the group, but, you know, just to do his best with that. And then you have Ray that tried to make things seem better by saying that he doesn't want them to die. You know, he doesn't want them to die. He went to Mom for just to put himself into a better position, really, for having power and influence and basically a knowledge. That's kind of his logic, I guess, but the point is that the betrayal was not quite as bad as you may have initially assumed, and there is some common ground here. He still wants to escape. That's still his priority, so we do have that common interest. So that's not like a deal breaker or anything in that regard. However, the main issue is still a disagreement about taking everyone along. Ray is not a fan of that. The only reason Norman's a fan of that is because Emma's a fan of that, and Norman's a fan of Emma. So we're just leaning towards tricking Emma It's like, yeah, we're gonna bring everyone. Yeah, come on, guys. And then it's only like 5 of us that leave. That's kind of what we're leaning towards. And we pretty much ended that conversation with that understanding. You know, people lay down some conditions, and we came to an agreement, pretty much. But which is good. I didn't want Ray to be like, yes, I'm evil, and then he's no longer our friend. That would kind of suck. So I'm glad the way things ended up. And then later on, you had the conversation with Emma where she was like, "Hey, did you figure out about the traitor thing? How did that go?" And then you had Ray's like, "Yeah, well, that's me. I'm the traitor." So there you go. Emma had a pretty funny reaction to that. And then we explained things in fairly simple terms for Emma, the simplest of our gang of 3 here, and she got it. Basically, he's the traitor, but he's not an enemy, and we're all still gonna work together. Like that's kind of what it came down to. So that's the plan. And Dawn and Gilda, I guess, are still being kept in the loop, more or less. Like we have our conversations of just the 3 of us. The one scene they were over there, kind of looking at it and commenting on that. Hey, those 3 are talking alone together. But we also have them in certain conversations, like the one with the secret door, which Mom uses for her secret alone time in her secret room. I guess who knows what she does in there though. We can only speculate. However, some people aren't fine with speculating. Some people actually want to go there, specifically Don, although he did drag Gilda along with it. So after we had a conversation about it, after we warned him, like, no, we're not going to go in there. That's a horrible idea. The risks outweigh the pros. Like, no, that would be stupid. You think we're stupid? No, we have the best test scores. Only anyone would go in there. Okay, are we in agreement with that? Yes. Okay, good. Let's break. Hey, Gilda, let's go to that room. It's like, Don, just no, you do not listen. That's why I don't trust children with anything. You really can't. So yeah, they headed on over there. They went in there. Like, bookcase. He says there's a door, right? Open. Open. How do you open this stupid thing? I keep hitting it. It's not opening. Like, how about we just slide it open? That's ridiculous. That will never work. And then she slides. It's like, oh, huh, cool. Let's open it. Oh, I think this is locked. Oh crap, somebody's coming in. What do we do? How could this situation possibly been avoided? That's more or less how that went. And I'm still leaning on that being Sister Krone. I just, because she wasn't even in this episode at all. She was mentioned a couple times, I think, but yeah, she was not in this episode at all. So that kind of makes me even more confident that she's doing it, because she probably was off screen doing her own scheming, and probably decided to go in there into the secret room herself to do something. I don't know. But yeah, that's what I'm leaning towards. I could be wrong. I probably am, but I gotta come up with a theory, right? All the best reactors come up with theories and predictions. Even though it's kind of foolish to do so, because you're either wrong and people think you're an idiot for being wrong, or you're right and people think you've read the source material for being right. So not a smart thing to do, but you must do it anyway. It's a borderline requirement. Anything else to really mention? Oh yeah, the Nightmare was pretty scary. Like, yeah, you can tell Norman definitely has some concerns about the escape and all that. He definitely does not want Emma to die. That would suck quite a bit. Speaking of Emma, one thing I glossed over. When we talked to Emma after the whole traitor conversation between the 2 of them, Ray mentioned something about how he would save everyone. Quite a bit different than what he said before about, how we can't do that. And Emma, you could tell she had a bit of a reaction. I think what's on her mind is like she doesn't fully believe Ray is on board with that. She's a little bit suspicious of it. I don't know exactly how deep that suspicion goes or what she'll do about it, but I'm fairly certain she's suspicious of his quick turnaround there. She is the stupid one of the group, but she's not stupid overall, so she probably suspects something. She obviously wants to believe in him, just like Norman wants to believe in Ray, so I don't know. We'll see what she does in regards to that, but that was definitely a look of suspicion to me. But yeah, we also found out that Ray had a lot to do with them going there to begin with, like finding out the whole Connie thing, so also what got him in a bit of trouble with Mom, so that was probably the biggest gamble that Ray's ever done on the show, was let them go find out the whole Connie thing. So basically got some strong benefit on one side, some strong negative on the other, but that hasn't really knocked things into motion. One more thing I want to talk about is the clock, the clock imagery and all that. I still don't fully get that. I mean, the I don't think you have it open for some stupid reason, but let's see. Okay. The Yakusoku no Neverland cover art. Like, you can see that our three main characters standing on what looks like a plate, which I get that now because, you know, they get eaten by monsters. But it's like basically like a plate with a fork and knife, except it's, I mean, actually, I guess we better say it's a clock in the style of a plate and knife and fork. So I get the plate part because they get eaten by monsters. I still don't get the clock stuff because we see clocks a lot. When they're playing hide and go seek in the woods, they had giant clocks just appear in the air. Obviously, they weren't physically there, but the point is that it's very prominent in the show. So, and there was one thing that Ray said about the rewards that he gets. He mentioned he made a comment about them being older models or whatever. So I think what we're trying to say with all that is that we're not as far in the future as maybe these kids were led to believe. Maybe the monsters took over at some point. Technology like paused, like it just stopped developing. Maybe these monsters are not intelligent enough to construct advanced technology, or it's just so different from human technology. But either way, I think that's supposed to imply that human technology in development just completely stopped. Like humans are basically done. Like there's probably like the amount of humans in the world are probably in the triple digits at best. So like there's no more human scientists or whatever. That's not a thing. So human technology is probably just done advancing. And we may or may not have monster technology. Probably not though. But yeah, I think that's supposed to be what that's implying. That time has kind of stopped for humanity. And that they're going to escape and maybe try to start up that clock again. Maybe that's what they're going for. Otherwise, I don't really get it. Because even the beginning shot with Ray and Norman in the conversation, the camera perspective was the ticking of the clock, which I already commented on how that made me feel. But yeah, they're definitely prominent enough where there's got to be a big meaning to it and reveal to what exactly it's trying to say with that. But, you know, I just thought it was interesting. I'm always just wanting to make it apparent that I am definitely noticing the clock stuff. And also some scary faces in this episode. Like Ray, especially really scary at one point, is like freaking out poor Norman back there. Yeah, I think for real, that's all I have to say on the episode. I mean, there's a couple more things I could comment about if I really wanted to, but I think I'm good. I'm good here, so there you go. Thank you for watching, and a special thanks to Cnouki for supporting the channel. If you enjoyed this video, I hope you consider clicking the like button and leaving a comment, because that's a great and easy way to let me know that people want more. If you want to do something big to help the channel, you can support me on Patreon and get nice benefits like early access to certain videos. See you next time.